medical doctor. Then he went back to soldier.
Okay.
Said he wants to be an officer.
In
fact, he said senior officer. So I guess that maybe he'll join the medical corps. In the army. Work at 37. But Bigo drink brings you something exciting because it's time. It's Bigo time. If you're worried about your parties, weddings, outdoorings, funerals, hangouts, on what to drink to enjoy during the celebration, or you're worried about how to celebrate your friends and family during that special occasion, well, with Bigo, no wahala for the occasion. Bigo Drinks has made it easy for everyone to enjoy and have the ideal celebration. It comes in different, distinct, and captivating flavors, each one specifically created to enrich every moment and bring vitality to your life. The flavors include cocktail, cola, apple, coconut, lemon, lime, orange. It comes in 16 and 20 in a pack. A lot to go around in various packs. It's refreshing and good quality. Infuse color into your life and get rejuvenated. Grab a bottle of your favorite flavor and treat yourself and loved ones to a memorable experience. Bigo Drinks, another quality product from Trillium Industries Limited. This is FDA approved.
3FM Sunrise.
Sunrise on 3FM.
And if you need money to start a business, you need money to expand your business, you're a government or private sector worker in need of money to sort out emergencies. Well, do you need a working capital loan or you're in need of an emergency loan? Quick Credit will loan you money so you can repay in flexible terms. It's collateral-free loans with no Susu savings account opening nor deposit wahala. You just need to be a Ghanaian with a Ghana card. Quick Credit covers all forms of loans, so you have no excuse not to work this year and beyond. Call Quick Credit on 0302 200 390. That's 0302 200 390 or 059 692 0833. That's 059 692 0833. Take note that they do not give loans via the internet, so beware of scammers. They're regulated and licensed by the Bank of Ghana. Terms and conditions apply. Quick Credit, lending made simple.
Now, if you love nature and glamour at the same time, then Nairobi and Dubai with Dancy Travel is a must trip for you. As part of the 10th anniversary trip, they're giving you a chance to experience 3-day stay in Nairobi, where you visit the Nairobi National Park to get close to nature, enjoy a city tour of Nairobi, and have an unforgettable dining experience at the Carnivore restaurant. You then continue to Dubai to be part of the fun-filled Dancy at 10 tour plan. That includes a live performance at the Dubai Desert Camp by the legendary Samini. Now, there's a saying, you have never been to Dubai if you haven't been there with a Dancy. The guided shopping experience in Dubai is one of a kind, and there are amazing discounts waiting just for you. The exciting part is you get to experience all of this within just 10 days at a highly discounted rate of 1,650 US dollars per person. Travel dates include the 10th to 19th of August, 12th to the 21st of August 2023. The choice is yours, but the fun is guaranteed by Dancy. Book your slot by visiting www.dancytravels.com or call on 055 77 46539 or 0552 648 267. Dancy at 10, it's a vibe. Book now to feel the beauty of life with Dancy.
Yeah, beauty and life. And you can go to Dubai or Nairobi with some discolored teeth and foul breath, because each time you eat, your food and sugars are trapped in between your teeth, leading to decay, gum disease, and in some cases foul breath. That's why brushing your teeth every morning and night with Pepsident Cavity Fighter gives your teeth the protection that they need, leaving you with 10 times stronger teeth. Pepsident Cavity Fighter is fortified with pro-fluoride and microcalcium ingredients, sealing tiny and invisible holes in your teeth. This prevents cavities while keeps your teeth strong and mouth healthy. Pepsident Cavity Fighter, maximum cavity protection, 10 times stronger teeth, 25 years educating you to brush your day and night. Pepsident is recommended by the Ghana Dental Association. There are 2 other highly effective variants of Pepsident on the market that I need to tell you about. First one is the Pepsident charcoal. It's made with a fine blend of activated charcoal and lemon essence. Pepsident charcoal white gently polishes away tooth stains and naturally restores your bright smile. The other one is the Pepsident herbal for all our herbal lovers. Try Pepsident herbal toothpaste formulated from carefully selected natural extracts and uniquely blended herbs. Pepsident herbal releases, repairs and protects gum tissue while giving you strong teeth. You can get Pepsident at any shop near you. Call our customer care center on the toll-free 0800 200 030. That's 0800 200 030. Always remember to brush your teeth in the morning and before you sleep at night. Pepsident, every smile matters.
Well, are you a government worker looking for quick access to financial assistance at the most competitive interest rates? Well, look no further. CBG is offering you access to loans of up to 250,000 cedis and up to 72 months repayment period. For more information on how to access CBG controller loans, walk into any of CBG's 114 branches nationwide or contact on 0302 216 000. The email address is info@cbg.com.gh, website www.cbg.com.gh. You can also find CBG on all of the socials, Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for additional information. Terms and conditions apply. CBG says we stand with you.
And that's where we bring your attention to all the trot, taxi, truck and bus drivers, because there's something special in town. Buy your fuel at Shell. Just get more rewarding because you can get your health insurance for your family, your car insurance, groceries for home, and so much more. Each time you buy fuel at Shell, you'll earn points that can be redeemed for any of these incredible offers. So hurry, buy your fuel at Shell. Always join the Shell Club and stay ahead with more benefits. Take your driving experience to a different level. Join the Shell Club today and keep filling up for more benefits, because driver, Shell, a day for you. We're calling out all the vendors, calling all parents, calling all guardians, mothers, fathers, expectant mothers and fathers. We're telling you that the 3FM Baby Fair is here. 3FM 92.7 presents the Baby Fair, one-stop shop for childcare products, toys, clothes and childhood development products for 3 exciting days: on Friday the 7th of July, Saturday 8th of July and Sunday the 9th of July 2023 at Marina Mall, Airport City in Accra. Are you a vendor or a dealer in children products or services, children's educational materials or anything related to children of all ages? Then you need to be at the 3FM Baby Fair. To be part of the fair and exhibit your products and services, please call 0244 40 50 27. That's 0244 40 50 27 right now. Join us at the 3FM Baby Fair, the one-stop fair for all childcare products, services for all children of all ages and sizes. A must for all parents, guardians, and everybody who has something to do with children. So whatever product or service you sell, from toys to food to clothing, be a vendor today at the 3FM Baby Fair. Book your slots quick, because parents make it a family affair and a fun photo booth for family photo shoots, kids arena for the kids to have so much fun and excitement while mommy and daddy go around to scout for stuff to buy. 3FM Baby Fair, 7th, 8th, 9th of July 2023, Marina Mall, Airport City in Accra. 3FM Baby Fair, powered by 3FM, supported by TV3, proudly sponsored by Marina Mall. 3FM 92.7 is your urban lifestyle radio, and there's something that's yummy in town. We're introducing the new super delicious and yummy McBerry Twist Cupcake. The McBerry Twist Cupcakes are baked with natural ingredients and come in 2 flavors, vanilla and chocolate. They taste as good as they look. The best part is that they are affordable. So hurry, get a whole pack for your family. McBerry Twist Cupcake is healthy and comes in handy as portable snack for kids to eat and share with their friends at school. Indulge in the deliciously baked and irresistible taste of McBerry Twist Cupcake and enjoy the goodness in every bite. It's available in every supermarket and provision shop near you. McBerry Twist Cupcake, simply irresistible. This address is FDA approved. And July beckons, something that's getting ready. We're getting into the pool and we will be splashing. But before that, there's the Republic Day exhibition. Join the experience because Ghana, as we hike to the mount, Afaja. We're going all the way to the summit and visit the enchanting Vli waterfalls, dinner, and a party at Bamboo River Resort. The package includes transportation, breakfast, snack, drinks, dinner, t-shirts, music, and the whole experience. The rate is a cool 650 Ghana cedis. That includes your transportation from Accra, breakfast, snacks, drinks, dinner, t-shirt, music, and a whole lot more. To register, please call 054 1159715. That's 054 1159715 or 055 40 49 778. That's 055 40 49 778.
Well, get ready to splash this summer at the biggest pool party this July. We're turning up at the exquisite Pleasant Gardens inside Jowolu for the Date Rush Pool Party, Saturday, 8th July from 3 p.m. sharp. Come and network, socialize, and experience the summer in Ghana like never before. Performing live are Dope Nation, LaRusso, DSL, DJ Faculty, DJ Abiam, DJ Phil, and many more. The rate is a cool 50 Ghana cedis. Dial star 713 star 33 star 25 hash. That's star 713 star 33 star 25 hash to purchase. To make reservations, call 02444 05027. Date Rush Pool Party, the summer event you don't want to miss.
Okay, and while you don't want to miss that, there's something that you don't want to miss tomorrow, because we've been talking about it, Helen. We're talking about the KoKo Roots Festival 2023. KoKo. Now, as a spiritual blend of Jamaican reggae and indigenous African roots music, affectionately called KoKo, this year all the ancestors and spirits of Africa will descend to celebrate the KoKo Roots Festival 2023, happening live at the Alliance Francaise Accra on Saturday, June 24 at 7 p.m. sharp till you pass out. Artists in action are Black Rasta, your KoKo legend, His Royal Excellency Taj Wicks from Lucia, Kishandea from St. Vincent, Rasim Posh, Zetmo from Burkina Faso. The rest of the KoKo warriors are Raskuku from Pum, Rasbomba, Konkra Vibes, Ja Vibes, Black Messiah, Ras Preacher Man, Mighty Orthodox Band, and the Vibration Kings Band. Now, yesterday I met Rasbomba. Yes, one corner. Special KoKo guest is for 2023 Samuel Owusu, a high life legend, MCs King Lagazi and Ras Kwame Malcolm. Now, guess what? We can't keep it a secret anymore. Shatawale will be there tomorrow at the KoKo Roots Festival. On Saturday, 24th of June. That's tomorrow at the Alliance Francaise. You can't miss it. This year, the KoKo Roots Festival comes with the KoKo Roots Festival. Come and drink free KoKo box with kosi, masa, vegan, kebab, and kuli. All this for free. This is crazy. You're either at the KoKo Roots Festival or you are in Abonsam Gym. Well, the rate is 100 Ghana cedis flat. Date is Saturday, 24th June. Time is 7 p.m. Media partners 3FM, TV3, Unia FM, and 3news.com. Sponsored by Rasta Choco Malt, McBanzi Is It, and Vegan Pot.
Yeah, man. Love that. Shout out to man Gringo.
Come on.
Yes, Gringo.
Hey.
Wow. Hey, man Dingo. Oh, yeah, make me tell him. Me never see no bad man where I walk up.
3FM Sunrise.
Yeah, me game up. If I girl sick, picture me not say nada. Everybody know we run this down. Yeah, man. Kuli.
Helen's a dance out in.
Only
It's a proper reggae, dancehall.
One by Shatta Wale Gringo. What is he talking
Shout
about?
out to my Gringo.
What's the name?
Ringo. It's a Jedouble Ambule vibe. Shout out to my Ringo, Bigdo, Dindo.
Also, never seen a bad man wear kaba.
Bad man wear kaba.
Bad man only wear kaba. Also, you never seen a bad man wear kaba.
Yeah, but if the sugar daddy say akema was he referring to Zara man?
It's a ram thing.
Zara man. See what is Zara man? There was another gentleman who used to wear dresses, shirts with puff on the shoulders.
Shoulder part.
Shoulder part. He's taking it back to the 17th century when the men used to wear the attire wasn't easy. It shows your status in life. The higher your part.
He's dressing like Napoleon. Napoleon
is a
calculation, Charlie. It's a serious this thing. But all of this is going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, a lot more fun is going to happen tomorrow at the Kuchoko Roots Festival. Black Rasta, host of Urban Blend here on 3FM 92.7, and the host of all of them plus Shatawale will be out there tomorrow. You can't miss it for anything. 100 Ghana cedis only. Alliance Francaise. If you haven't got your ticket yet, well, you can get it at the gates at Alliance Francaise. 100 Ghana cedis sharp, and all the fun will be yours. Can you imagine KoKo in the evening, warm and kuli and masa and vegan kebab and so on and so forth and so on and so forth.
Ghana from Ghana, hello, Edukuro, Selassie is almighty. I'm a ninja shoko.
Happy birthday to Michael Petit Maugbe, aka Ifo Maugbe, is the executive secretary to the GJ president and administrator of the press center. Executive secretary to the president of the GJ. Charlie, big man post, Charlie, big man. Happy birthday to you, my brother. If it's your birthday as well, happy birthday to you. And we'll be talking about the Bullion Van shooting at Ablekuma. Police have intensified their hunt for the members of that robbery gang. But then we will also have a conversation now with the president of the Association of Bullion Van Operators in Ghana, Alhaji Idi Sumaila. Alhaji, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good to hear from you this morning. I'm sure that the first time you heard of this Bullion Van shooting at Ablekuma, a lot of thoughts ran through your mind. Care to share some of that with us this morning?
Thank Thank you very much, my brother. I first of all wish to express my heartfelt condolence to the bereaved family and also to the police administration. I'd also want to share my thoughts on this platform about what happened yesterday, like you rightfully asked. The issue came to my notice around 2:15 yesterday in the afternoon. And I immediately got in touch with the head of admin of Agate Security Company. We had a discussion, and he said to give me a full brief at the secretariat. But what happened was that, as we all saw on the video that is circulating, which I wouldn't want to verify for now. The vehicle got to the point, was reversing, and it was attacked. We, as CIS operators, have our own standard operating procedures. That once we set off to do business, we are not supposed to divert from our routes. We are also not supposed to park by the roadside to engage in any commercial activity. Once we start, we move to our picking points. We call it picking points because banks have contracts with us.
Right.
And they give us the list of their clients where we have to go and either offload money or pick money. So when we get there, the first procedure is for the police. In any case, any van that is moving out is accompanied by a policeman who is called an escort. So when we get to our agreed location, the policeman is the first person to come out of the van, take control of the environment. And then the cashier comes out to transact her business and is escorted into the van again. So that is the standard procedure. Once we pick it, then we move to the next point. So I believe that it was during one of their routine rounds that they got attacked at the filling station. They went to the filling station to pick cash on behalf of Ghana Commercial Bank. So that was actually their main purpose of moving into the filling station. Most people have heard conversations to the effect that they went there to buy fuel. No, they went there to pick cash on behalf of Commercial Bank.
Right.
And this unfortunate incident, So that's what I can say for now.
I see. Let me also welcome Dr. Victor Abe. He is a change management and security consultant. Doc, good morning. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Johnny, and good morning to your listeners.
Doc, this will not be the first time a bullion van has been attacked in such manner. You are a change management and security consultant. Should we be worried?
Thank you, Johnny, and once again, good morning to your listeners. Yes, indeed, there's every reason for us to be worried because, as the saying goes, once beaten, twice shy. Indeed, there has been efforts or directives from the Bank of Ghana following the previous killing of a policeman,
right?
And to the banks to acquire, armored-plated bullion vans and all that. But of course, it goes beyond that. But before I come to that, let me quickly also join my colleague to express my condolences to the family. It's unfortunate it has happened. Sometimes the hazards of the job. My condolences to them and to the police service as well. Now, my question is the directive to the banks. In as much as it is still within the window or the period given, I understand it's 1st July. My question is, how far have the banks gone on that, journey to acquiring armored-plated bullion vans? And how different has the police administration approached the training of personnel who continue to escort these bullion vans? So these questions must be answered. And the question of even how the police personnel themselves conduct, their activities around the various locations they get to is also a question that needs to be answered.
Right.
How differently have they been, trained or instructed to carry out their duties. One person was always the escort on a bullion van. The military was brought in along the line where they provide almost about 6-man escorts to a bullion van. Why is it the case that we are still having, or we are still seeing, a single policeman in front of a bullion van and escorting it? Why can't we marry the two operations where the police service and the military can work together? Not to mention the unfortunate, her brawl between the military and the police in the recent past, where there was an engaged, fight or battle, if you want to call it. So we have reason to get worried. There's every reason to be worried. So that's my initial statement I will make.
Alaji, let me bring you in again. There's supposed to be a deadline for proper bullion vans, as it were, because what we have presently and what we see in the video is a makeshift. It's a pickup vehicle that has been modified into a bullion van. Would you say there are proper bullion vans in the system, first of all?
Very well, thank you so much. Yes, we have actually brought in the armor-plated bullion vans, and for now, I can assure you that there are proper bullion vans in the country. Of my distance, I can say that we have about 150 bullion vans in the country belonging to our members. So the proper bullion vans are in town. And you would also.
So why was this particular one not a proper bullion van?
Yes, the thing is that most banks have signed contracts with us to deploy those bullion vans. The issue of the bullion vans goes through a process. Before we import the bullion vans, we have to go through the Ministry of Interior for clearance. We have to place our order for the chassis to be refitted. It takes time. And before it's exported, the country of exporting, the van also has to go through its security details before the vehicles arrive. When the vehicles arrive, there's a process that goes through. So, before a vehicle comes into the country, it takes a minimum of 4 to 5 months. So those banks that have actually engaged us, that have supported us to bring in the vans, are those we have deployed the vans for. We are also at various stages of finalizing agreements with other banks to complete discussions and bring in the vans. So that is how come you notice that some banks have actually deployed the bullion vans, whilst others are yet to deploy.
You were giving a certain deadline.
Yes.
When is this deadline supposed to? Because the IGP, the previous IGP said by 30th of June 2021, if I'm right. He says that if you are not able to get us bullion vans, they will stop policing your cash. Well, you had a meeting subsequently, and that was reviewed. What was the reviewed deadline? And are you sure we're able to achieve that deadline, reach it?
Yes.
92.7.
Yes, we are there. The review deadline is 1st of July, which is just around the corner. So we have had a series of meetings with Bank of Ghana, of course, who are our regulators. We've had meetings with the Association of Bankers, and we are all working towards that deadline. So the deadline is 1st of July.
When you say you're working towards the deadline, what exactly do you mean? You mean by the 1st of July, all banks or all of those who are involved in picking and dropping cash would have bullion vans? We will not see those pickups, or what exactly do you mean? Explain.
Yes, certainly. By 1st of July, we are going to discard the usage of the soft skin. I call it soft skin. Those are the pickups that have been modified.
Right.
So from 1st of July, we are going to all move onto the new platform of armored bullion.
So the 1st of July, I should not be seeing those pickups moving cash. Is that what you're saying?
Very well. That is what I'm saying.
Is it a realistic thing? I mean, I want to be sure.
Well, you see, we are third-party contractors to the banks. The banks are directly regulated by Bank of Ghana. We are also being regulated by our association. And we have informed all our members that by 1st of July, you must have armored-plated bullion vans to work with. So you will notice that, for example, there are certain banks that we have already gone fully armored. There are certain banks that we have deployed armored vehicles completely for them. And other banks have actually not finalized discussions with us. But on the 1st of July, we've already told them, we've warned them, that on the 1st of July, they didn't make arrangements to finalize their agreements with their suppliers. Then we are going to take off our vans, the soft skin vans, from the system.
I see.
So in that case, however they operate, that will be their problem.
Dr. Abe, this is what the Bullion Van Association says. Do you think it is a realistic solution? Because meetings have been had, but they say they have warned the banks that on the 1st of July, if they don't get those bullion vans, they withdraw. That means we may have a difficulty around that period. What do you say?
Well, Johnny, for me, for now, that is their word. We wait to see what happens, and I pray that before that time, we will have some positive news to that effect. But let me be quick to also mention here that the armored-plated vehicles or escort vans is just one side of the equation, because the vehicles by themselves do not ensure or do not guarantee non-attack on the escort or on the vehicles.
That's right.
It is just to prevent, penetration of bullets and all that. But the second bit of it is understanding the environment you're operating in and determining the right escort to give to a cash-carrying vehicle is what is critical for me. So you can have the armored vehicles and put just one personnel on board. When they get to the location where they're going to collect the cash, definitely somebody got to get down, or 2 or 3 people will have to get out of the vehicle. What is the guarantee that at that point in time, a single police person wielding the weapon, overwhelmed by maybe 2, 3, 4 armed robbers, can really deal with the situation? That is the question we need to probe and, convince ourselves about. You cannot just say once you procure armor-plated vehicle, that is the surest guarantee that everything will, the control or you overcome armed robbery cases on bullion vans.
Well, no, so we do know that in the wake of the Ablekuma robbery, where we saw police killing police, we were told that going forward we'll have 2 armed policemen. We'll also have military complement the policing of the cash. We'll have them wear body cam, bulletproof vest and helmet. The video we saw and the subsequent one we have seen is that the gentleman in question, the policeman, was not in the bulletproof vest. He was not in a helmet as well. And he was only one. There were not 2. So we set what do you call it? We set the rules, and then when nobody is watching, we break the rules. Can we ever make progress if we continue that way?
Definitely, there cannot be any progress if we don't put the right monitoring systems in place. The military will call it ensuring that the right thing, or did you ensure? He asked the question, did you ensure that what the directive given is implemented to the latter? So somebody is in charge of operations. Somebody is in charge of this bullion van deployment. What is the person doing, and who is ensuring that the person is doing the right thing? And the personnel who are deployed themselves, how are they adhering to the instructions that were given? In fact, it may interest you to note that sometimes you see the policemen, they have their bulletproof jackets in the vehicle, hung behind the seat.
That's right.
Hung behind the seat.
That's right.
And they are sitting in front just because of a little bit of discomfort that comes with the bulletproof and the helmet. They decide to do that. So attitudinal issues among the personnel themselves is also something that needs to be addressed. because they need to appreciate the role they are playing, the criticality of it, and their own lives to be able to adhere to the instructions. So that is something that we must also look at. So the armored vehicle, I stand by the point that the armored vehicles themselves do not guarantee, safety of the personnel, attitude and instructions. But let me also quickly say that personally, we need to also, I believe strongly that we need to move away from the inclusion of military in escort of cash.
Why do you say that?
That's what I wanted to say. Yes.
Why do I say so?
Tell me.
The police has, a unit well equipped to the best of my knowledge to do that job. Military's role we must see gradually military focusing on other critical issues rather than an issue of, money escort. If it's for a long distance and all that, fine. But internally, as in within Accra, the space within the city, I think the police should be able to handle that very well if the right personnel are deployed.
Well, Doc, so
that was what I believe.
Doc, let me take you back to 1999, the Justice Archer report, where we're told that at some point the police would even be phased out of providing security for the banks because we had brought in the private security, and that they were going to take some training and then eventually the police will be phased out. This was in 1999. We are in 2023 and the police are still around. Now we have even added the military, which many like you have said should not be the case. Again, I go back to my earlier question. Why do we set rules and break them?
Very coming.
Elijah, I'll bring you in. I want Doc to answer this and then we'll come back to you.
Okay. Thank you, John. The issue is that generally within our country, I think our attitude, our approach to doing things, the institutions do not work together. The working in silos sometimes, are the reasons why we experience some of these things. Now, you refer to a report, 1999.
That's right.
Institutions were mandated or are supposed to be responsible for ensuring that kind of recommendation is implemented. It is not only one institution. How have the institutions worked together to ensure that this is realized? It is because, by and large, we work in silos. The public institutions work in silos. Everybody wants to project his or her organization or institution. So because of that, only few are able to work, together perfectly. So until we overcome that and begin to realize that the bigger picture is what we are all working towards, to ensuring a safer and secure society, we'll continue to see some of these things. And so the rules are set or directives are given, and then somebody, the saying goes that there is a work to be done. Somebody feels somebody else will do it. Everybody feels somebody else should do it. Nobody took an action, and at the end of the day, nothing got done. So that is exactly where we are.
I see. Alaji, I bring you in. I heard your reaction when Doc said that the military should be kept away from these day-to-day activities, and you seemed to agree with him. What's your point of agreement?
Yes, like Doc rightly said, the police have more than enough capabilities to act as far as internal security is concerned. The military were brought in as a stopgap measure to help stabilize the situation and then move back to the barracks. So with all respect, I also agree with Doc's position. The police are well equipped enough to give us the protection we need. And let me also add that when this issue of going fully armored started, a lot of work has gone in. But see, these are security issues which we are discussing amongst ourselves with our stakeholders. So it's not everything we are bringing out for the consumption of the general public. But a lot of work has gone. And I also understand Doc's worry about what happens at the catch pick points we have had our own arrangements, and we have also had our own discussions with the police and other stakeholders as to what to do when we get to the cash pit. Amongst others, we are also going to supply the occupants of the vehicles with bulletproof vests, in addition to the to other security measures we have put in place. I can assure you that most of the armored vehicles you see around are being monitored at our own centralized, controlled monitoring centers.
I see.
We have our own monitoring center where the movement of each and every vehicle is recorded. And so, in the unlikely event of an occurrence, we can also submit our report together with video footages of what actually has happened. So I'm assuring you that a lot of it has gone. It's not as if we are just bringing in the vans to throw onto the roads and then go back to sleep. We are working hand in hand with the police. We are working hand in hand with the Bank of Ghana and the Ministry of Interior to make sure that we all achieve maximum satisfaction. So a lot of work is going on.
How many bullion vans must each bank have?
It depends on the strength of the bank. You know, the banks some have nationwide coverage, some have.
So let's begin with those who have nationwide coverage. ADB, GCB, CBG. Let's start with those. How many are they supposed to have?
I know of a few of them I'm working with. For example, with GCB, we have about 4 companies supplying them with the vans. And the strength of GCB alone should take not less than 100 armored bullion vans. ADB should be around 30-35. I can speak for the two banks. CBG, I'm not working with them, so I can speak for them.
I see.
And I can assure you that ADB has gone fully armored. They have gone fully armored. So you notice that if you go to all ADB locations, you will not see soft skin vans working for them. So let me take this platform to commend the management and staff of ADB for a good work done. They have actually cooperated with us. They supported us throughout this process. And so ADB has gone fully armored.
The drivers for these bullion vans, where do you source them from, and how do you operate with them? Are they put on contract, for example? How much are they paid? Are they well paid?
Well, you know, if you look at the salary structure, it's also a process. You know, we started with soft skin vans. We are now graduating. To whom much is given, much is expected. So certainly with the armored bullion regime.
No, Alaji, you're jumping the gun. My question is, presently, how do you source them? How do you train them? And how much do you pay them now?
Yes. So I'm saying that the sourcing of them is just by one, we do recommendations. In most cases, people recommend the drivers to us. We also have our own criteria for employment. That aside, we also advertise. But when they come, the first point of call is to take them to security clearance. We take them to the police for their background check to be done. Once that is done, we take them through training procedure. We involve the police, we involve the fire service, and we also have our own trainers in the office who take them through various forms of training. That aside, we give them refresher courses certain specific times. So that is the training we take them through. And usually we make sure that there's a monitoring team that also goes around, because our operations are not located within one jurisdiction. You will find out that in most cases some of the companies have a nationwide coverage. So we have a monitoring team that goes around checking the conduct of drivers. And we also have phone numbers at the back of our vans, which of course is now the norm, that in the unlikely event of any careless driving or anything, we are immediately informed. So we are monitoring the drivers and we give them refresher courses. When it comes to salary issues, that's not for the public consumption.
Well, the public would have to know, because if you are carrying my cash, I need to know that the person who's carrying my cash has been fed well enough so that he's not tempted to go and connive with somebody to come for my cash.
That is true. That is why we don't find continuous attack. It's occasional attack. If the drivers are not well motivated, then we would have noticed that there are several challenges on our roads.
So,
as far as cash movements are
you're
concerned.
saying that they are paid very well in the region of what? 5,000, 7,000, 9,000?
It is very well subjective because if one is paid 100 million Ghana cedis a day, he will tell you that he needs more. So I cannot say they are paid very well. What I can say for sure is that people are satisfied with their salaries. And like I said, we are actually graduating because to whom much is given, much is also deserved. So we are actually arranging to pay them in commensurate to the responsibilities given them. You also notice that I can give, for example, $100,000 vehicle to a driver who is less motivated.
What you can do, Alaji, for us is to give us a range. So on the average, a range, how much does a bullion driver take home?
Well, the range is from, you see, I'm doing this with all respect because these are security issues.
Alaji, I get
and
you.
And they have security implications. So I believe that at a different platform, we can look at all these things together. And like I told you, these are security matters. We are working with several stakeholders. And so I cannot just come out to start avoiding information.
I understand you perfectly that you cannot give me the exact figure, but give me a range. That should not be difficult, Alaji.
The maximum is 2,000 Ghana cedis.
I see. Are they contract workers or are they permanent workers?
They are permanent workers.
So they are not on contracts that will expire?
No. They are permanent workers.
I see.
You see, what we do, like I told you, and it's all about security, is that once you engage a driver, you try as much as possible to maintain and to have him within your ambit, because the reason is that we wouldn't want to have several people going through our operational procedures. For example, if I'm working with ADB, I'll try as much as possible to have a driver for as long as I can have him. Because if you keep changing, then you are exposing the bank also to danger. You are exposing the clients of the bank also to danger. So we are using limited people and making sure that they are well maintained to be able to be there actively for us all the time.
We keep talking about the police and all others who are, protecting our cash, bulletproof vests and body cam and helmets and all of that. Do you provide any protective clothing for these drivers?
Well, now, like I told you, we are now moving on to the armored regime, and certainly it's part of the SOPs that has been agreed by both parties, that drivers will be given protective clothing.
So as it stands now, they go out without protective clothing? Because we saw the driver just opened the door and fled.
Yes.
Do they have life insurance, these drivers?
Yes, we have insurances for them.
I see. Dr. Abe,
Hello, Johnny.
These are the answers. So now let's look at it from the security consultant point of view. What do we need to reinforce? What do we need to change?
All right. In his Mr. Mohammed's answer to your question, I think he did not address the issue of training, how the drivers are trained. So if there's no other training apart from the fact that the guy knows how to drive, then that should be one of the starting points where they need to be taken to some escort driving, or what the military call combat driving skills, so that in times like these, the driver will know what to do, but not open the door and fled. In fact, so these are some of the things they need to look at. I don't know what goes into the training of the drivers, because this thing has a high level security implications. So it must not just be business as usual, that I know how to move a vehicle, so I am put behind the wheel of an escort vehicle and I'm just driving. It goes to understanding in, taking them through simulations where In case of this is what you do. In case of that, this is what you do. So if those things are not part of their training, it's one of the things they need to critically look at. And then number two, you answered the question, you asked the question right with regards to protection of the drivers themselves. And it's also another thing. By that training, they should be able to, wear those equipment, have a feel of them, and be conversant with them, how to wear and so drive and all that. If it is just going to be given to them to wear, I am pretty sure that they will hang it the way we have seen some of the policemen hang theirs as well. By way of moving forward, I would suggest that more of simulation exercises with regards to the escort procedure and routes to destination on site and all that should be done as part of the training for this, Bullion Van escorts. These things cannot just be handled the way they are currently being handled. And that is what I think I will have to say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alaji, we would want to wrap up the conversation. When these attacks happen and the drivers see police being killed, they would obviously go through trauma. What kind of psychosocial support do you give to these drivers in these times?
Well, this is a very good question. We actually give them, it's all part of the training they go through. So when it happens, certainly we have meetings with them, we try discussing issues with them. And we also look out for those who are actually well affected by trauma, and then we find ways of resolving it. So actually that's what we do. But I'm happy this conversation is on because it puts pressure on us, the service providers, it puts pressure on the police service, and it puts pressure on all the stakeholders for us to act well. And certainly we are not just going to go by this talk show and walk away. A lot of lessons have been learned. We are also picking up a lot of information and ideas like the doc is releasing. And certainly we are going to incorporate it into our operations and make sure that the right things are done.
That includes the 1st of July deadline, correct?
Yes, sure.
If the banks fail to give you the bullion vans by the 1st of July, would you withdraw your men?
Well, you see, the practice here is that the banks don't give us the vans. We rather give the banks the vans. So it's the other way around. Right. We buy the vans and then supply to the banks.
Do your members have the capacity to be able to fund these vans, the acquisition of these vans for operation?
Yes, like I'm telling you, we have a company that has over 60 armored bullion vans imported. My company has over 40 vehicles imported. We have capacity. As you know, so if you talk about capacity, it's a collaborative effort. We work with our banks, we work with our financial institutions, looking out for money to bring in the vans. But it's also hinged on a contract. If any bank gives us contract, that is enough guarantee to get us the vans in. So, like I'm saying, in fact, if you get a bank after the 1st of July that is not ready, it means it's coming from the bank and not from we, the service providers. If you don't give us a good contract, how can we supply vans to you? It's not done. So those who have given us support, we have already supplied the vans to them, like I've mentioned in the case of APP. We have given them the vans. Some banks, EcoBank and others, have the vans. Stanbic has the vans. We will say that it is possible that most of them don't have the full requirements of the vans they need. But if they work together with us very well, giving us assurances of contracts and other things, why not? The vans will be here for them.
I'm just curious, how much does one bullion van cost, the one you are importing?
It costs a maximum of 120,000 cedis and a minimum of $1,000 and a minimum of $90,000 for one.
Go over the figures again, please.
$120,000 maximum. That is for the Land Cruiser LC79. It depends on negotiation. Some go as high as $145,000. That is to bring it to your doorstep. And Hiluxes and others also come to around $90,000. We also have retrofitting companies in the country, and that's for another conversation. There are companies that are in this country retrofitting. Retrofitting means that you buy your soft skin van and then send it to the company for them to armor it for you. So they are also in the country. We have had contacts with them. They are also doing a very good job. So that also helps in reducing the amount invested in the purchase of the bullion vans.
See. Well, Doc, you have the final word. What do you say?
Okay, thank you. Let me also add that we have spoken about the driver and the police escort. The cashier and all other personnel on board the escort vehicle also require training to understand the nature of the job, what to do and what not to do, because it is also critical to the process, to the whole, enterprise. In that, in case of an incident, it may not necessarily be the police who need to take action alone, but if all other personnel on board know what to do at any point in time, I think it will help as well. So by way of rounding up my comments or contribution to this discourse, I will say this is a serious venture, and so we all need to give it that serious attention it deserves. The stakeholders involved, from the Bank of Ghana, the Ministry of Interior, the Ghana Police Service, the military, the escort vehicle owners or operators, they all need to give the needed attention. The banks, everybody must come on board to know that times have changed. The economic situation we find ourselves in today also requires that we pay special attention to this whole enterprise.
Okay.
Not forgetting the issue about Okada, licensing.
Right.
Where we need to regulate Okada, operations in this country. It came up, I remember one of the elections, heated debate about giving them a license to operate as passenger conveying instruments or devices and all that. But if it's becoming, largely a security threat to our environment. Because how do we even monitor? We see a lot of them not licensed. And an interesting conversation also has it that most of the security personnel own some of these motorbikes. So how do we regulate the activities of Okada operators? It's also something we need to look at. So thank you very much for having me.
Doc, we're grateful. Dr. Victor Abe is a change management and security consultant. And on the other phone line, we had Alhaji Idi Sumaila. He's the president, Association of Ghana Bullion Operators in the country. Doc, thank you. Alhaji, thank you.
Thank you very much, my brother.
Grateful.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Okay. And so on and so forth. William. Charlie, 2K to be working around the money.
The sun never sets without fresh news. So people have taken some of these things as news.
Yes.
Because every day the sun sets.
There's fresh one coming.
It's unfortunate, but I think the media, we also have to look at this. That van there is not a bullion van.
No, it is not.
It is just a van.
Yeah.
Because a bullion van is a van that carries wealthy, much gold,
expensive
silver,
stuff
that has been
valuables,
fortified with all the security features. That's what we can call a bullion van. We've put out the narrative to suggest that these are bullion vans. They are not, and that's all of them have been saying this morning in the discussion, in the interview. What training do the individuals in these soft skin vans have? Even when I sit in the car, my children, young children, daddy, press the lock, and the car wasn't locked. The gentleman just touched and opened.
Yes, that's right.
So how conscious was the officer, about his environment as a security officer?
I think when he parked, they just opened,
and that is where you should be security conscious, because the vehicle is now stationary, it's standing.
So your hand should be on the trigger, waiting.
And I've been at banks where even before they enter the yard, the police officer gets down, then he holds the gun for you to know that there's something there. Because
action day.
And I don't know if they have side arms or it's just a rifle. Because when you are in the car, the rifle is sitting in front of you. There's in action before you open but when it's a side arm, you just draw it and there's a little action. So these are conversations that
this rifle conversation. You know, one policeman had killed himself with his rifle.
Yes.
At the front of the vehicle.
Because you travel. Look,
Bullion Van.
Even if you haven't traveled, you see police officers in our videos in the news in the West. They have side arms. You don't see them holding rifles. Sometimes two. You know, so as soon as it is, you just draw it. But this thing is so cumbersome, so the training for me was zero. Then again, why do we give such a long time for us to
timeline to be able to
bring in Bullion Vans 2023? And we know that these things have been going on since 1957, when robbers have been. So why do we think that after Adidempo? Between Adidempo and now, it won't happen until 1st July or 30th June. I mean, some of this, what goes in some of this,
of course, criminals are also gathering their own intelligence. They're not going to strike when it's hot. They waited until that issue seemed to have died down.
Because the chameleon will change its color to fit the earth. The earth will never change its color to fit the chameleon.
You know,
Why are you laughing?
You know, it's okay, Baba. You know, and you're right. You're right about that.
Yeah.
If you look at the policeman,
yes,
in the early days when the Adidempo incident happened, suddenly you go to the banks, you see all of them with bulletproof vests, helmets.
Exactly.
And then when the matter died down, look, this gentleman was wearing no helmet, no bulletproof vest.
And
he had just opened the door and he was just...
seemed quite relaxed. Door was open.
That is a security operation. The fact that they've called you to sit in that vehicle, it's a security operation. It's not an escort.
And as Johnny is saying, watch what will happen in the next few days. That same posturing. We learn from history that we don't learn from history. We're going to see more of this kind of, you see them in the banks now for another few weeks and it'll die down.
Look, as I sit here, the sun will set, fresh news will come. And this will be one of those things.
So the Bullion Van, he said the maximum price for the Bullion Van is $120,000, right?
Yes.
V8, the latest one is $137,981 for 2023 range. We will be buying V8 this year for 1 month or for a few men or women. And then these mob robbers who are earning 2,000 less than 2,000.
And that's the upper limit.
Yes, the 2,000 cities is the upper limit. It's the maximum that you can, risking your life. Charlie.
We are not saying that these things don't happen elsewhere, but
the frequency
it's happened recently, and police officers have been killed, and those investigations that went into that incident, we haven't even seen the head and tail of those investigations, and now we are giving you look at that then and now. So long. I mean, how long does it take to procure one Bullion Van? And I think the period between the Adidempo incident and now is too long, to the point that we've lost another individual whose life cannot be compared to $120,000. It can't. Even in Accra now, if you want a decent home to stay, you can't get any home for $120,000.
Charlie.
So I'm saying that the standards, we don't have standards in this country. Nothing happens with standards. A country where somebody can cook wachi and put it over an open gutter filled with water and people will buy and eat. This is Ghana.
And so when we get alerts such as see something, say something, even as security personnel are not on top of this.
Exactly.
See something, say something, vigilant, for us to also emulate. So lax, so relaxed.
I won't generalize it. I'll zero in on this one because you find other escorts who are very alert and are working to the and it comes back to the recruitment processes maybe. In the Adidempo issue, for example, some intel I had from inside, because I went digging, and they told me that the gentleman is new and he's been assigned to the SWAT. Okay, but the SWAT is a specialized unit of the police. So how long did he serve as a general constable before he was moved to SWAT? And if he was a general constable moved to SWAT, how long did he stay under training or observation at SWAT before he was moved to go and escort cash? Okay, Was he the only one there? Was there an emergency? The people who were much more experienced than him, because within that space, it's just like it's a profession. So you understudy people, you grow into the job. Did he finish a 6 months training? The intel I had was that he didn't finish the 6 months. It was 4 months. He was pushed in. So is it proper police, protocol police, or political police? Same proper soldier, protocol soldier, or political soldier? Same proper immigration. So you ask yourself the question, the recruitment processes. I mean, I don't need to see an officer in town, for example, who I'm way taller than me. I'm not six feet tall, but you see an officer who is four.
Man, what fire?
No, but you see them four, and
so because it's short, you can't.
No, I didn't say that. I'm just saying that.
Come again.
I'm just saying that when the adverts are put out there,
so you're saying that
the requirement, they tell you that if you are not for women is what 5.5, and for men the base is 5.7. They put it in the newspapers and they disqualify people for that.
But sir, the fact that you see somebody show doesn't mean that it's not 5'5".
No, I'm saying
you put things on them.
I'm saying no. If I'm 5'9". So if I see somebody who's shorter than me, it means that the person is not 5'9". If I see somebody even way shorter, then there's a problem. So now, no, it's not a question of what has height got to do. I'm saying that to the extent that you publish it in the newspapers to say meet this height requirement or you will not be hired, and people go to LWAC and the other places and they are disqualified from joining the security services based on their height, and then you will now find people wearing uniform who are shorter than some of the people who were disqualified because of height.
Protocol heights.
There's a problem somewhere.
But Johnny,
protocol heights indeed.
You see, so I'm looking at the process flow. For instance, the team from the Ghana Police Service, members of the team who go out every morning on these security assignments, do they have briefing every morning, or they just come and then the car comes and they sit in and they go? No, I'm just asking, because every morning they're supposed to have some
briefing of a sort.
Yes. So every week there should be some process flow somewhere,
and that's what I asked Alaji. That look, for example, this morning or even yesterday, this thing happened in the afternoon. The banks hadn't closed. Banks will close at 4, sometimes 5. If you have a special arrangement with the bank, you want to pick cash, you're a big account holder, they can still arrange cash for you 6 p.m., 7 depending on whatever item, bring it to you. Or these same drivers who would have heard that their colleague has been traumatized, a policeman had been killed, will now be scared because number one, they don't have protective clothing. Number two, the salary is what it is. Number three, insurance, we've been told that they have insurance, but insurance doesn't guarantee that your life is protected. It is after something has happened to you and all of that. Now, within that space, it brings the Williams question, within that space, how do we gather them to even talk to them? That's what I asked him. He said, they do it. It's part of the training. But Charlie, the trauma is there.
That's another angle that I didn't even think about. That if you are involved in this business, you have an assignment coming up and you just heard of this news. Is there a team lead that can even say, okay, let's move in this direction, or following this, let's all regroup, or you are just left to your own devices?
Was the policeman wearing a vest? How about the other occupants of the vehicle?
So that's why
the team of 3 or 4, they should all be
exactly
protected. I don't think it even comes up for discussion. The driver doesn't need any protection. The cashier doesn't need any protection. Only the policeman needs protection.
So this morning I asked that question, and Alaji says, going forward into, because when I asked that question, Alaji said, so the new thing. I said, no, Alaji, I jump in the gun today as we speak. Do they have protection? He said no, they don't. It was clear that they don't.
So you get in the car as a driver with your full organs exposed.
It's just your skin covering.
All you have to do is try and run away if you're not lucky.
Like the guy did.
So you see, that's why I'm saying that as a people, when we are doing some of these things, we don't think through it. Because if you are putting 4 people or 3 people in a vehicle, and you are thinking about the safety of the policeman alone, thinking that the robbers will target only the policeman, what kind of thinking is that?
Especially when your car is not bulletproof, it's a van.
So Charlie, every day that team goes out, the members are at risk. And the risk is not because it's a calculated risk. You just expose them. You see, the most dangerous people in this world are those who have nothing to lose.
Okay.
These robbers, they have nothing to lose because one day
they know they'll be killed.
They put on their clothes and they hide on their weed and cocaine and they are getting out. Today they are ready to die.
Yeah.
And somebody would say, the policeman to sign on to that kind of thing because he doesn't know that.
But that's not.
Okay,
that's
okay.
Not cool.
How about the other?
The driver to sign
on that he's come to bank
to die.
Or bank, I said I'm going to work and as a bank I will die, so I've signed on to it. I mean,
Charlie. Well, we're dovetailing into Community Connect. Patience Nikwe of Anglo Gold Ashanti Obuasi. Good morning to you. I know you and your team are doing the listening. We'll get to talk about the socio-economic development program sometime soon. We're getting into Community Connect in a bit. But first, a few messages for you. Wrap up Sunrise and now Community Connect. Here you go.
My people, Philadelphia. Our very own Dancy Travels is 10 years old. Hey. I hope you remember what they did on their 5th anniversary with a 555